So, sasampahan po natin ng kasong direct assault po si Carabuena dahil po ang enforcer po natin na sinaktan po niya while in the performance of his duties.
Attorney Yves Gonzalez is an asset to the Metro Manila Development Authority, or MMDA. He is the former spokesperson of the agency and is now its traffic discipline director.
I have my own command center here, so I have the ability to control the camera, pan, tilt, zoom. So I chose this office talaga so that every day I can see right outside my window the traffic situation. And then I can control, I can see kung ano nangyari. If I see, let's say, in the traffic situation na hindi na nagmamatch yung traffic sa CCTV dun sa traffic ng traffic navigator, I can actually override it.
Attorney Yves created the MMDA app for iPhones and iPads, which brings real-time traffic updates to its users.
So this is how the code looks.
Lines and lines of words.
He also co-developed the MMDA TV5 Metro Manila Traffic Navigator and the man behind MMDA's social networks.
I have access to Twitter and people's complaints, people's tweets, when people say na sobrang traffic sa Sales Bridge, wala na talagang galawan. I can immediately call the head of the area and say na wala na daw galawan sa Sales Bridge mo. Information coming in, I can process it into solid action on the field.
Even if he is handling Metro-wide responsibilities, Yves still knows how to have fun. A geek at heart, his knowledge in technology allows him to respond to office and road concerns quickly.
The technology now is something I would say would be my advantage over previous traffic directors because I have access to the CCTV in my own office. I'm Attorney Yves Gonzalez, Traffic Director for the Metro Manila Development Authority.
Welcome back to Cocktales. Tonight, we have Attorney Yves Gonzalez, the Director of MMDA's Traffic Discipline Office. I said it right. Yes. Welcome to Cocktales.
Welcome.
We were talking earlier about the distracting LED billboards that are in EDSA and Commonwealth.
Right now, what the MMDA is doing is we're no longer allowing new installations of LED billboards so that can protect the public from the distraction of these billboards.
The MMDA website has a list of the billboard violators. What do you plan to do with them?
So what our Operation Baklas Billboard is doing now is those billboards that do not have a permit, even from the local. So in coordination with the local government officials, we remove them and we tear them down. So most probably those without permits, those are the ones who actually pose a danger to the public because there's no proper authority that can check whether their billboards are safe, whether they comply with regulations. So,
but you have no policy to make EDSA billboard free.
The best we can do is to put order along EDSA and to not allow the proliferation of the billboards along EDSA.
You once worked as the MMDA spokesperson. What were the difficult issues that you had to deal with?
The most difficult part of that is you have to know everything that's going on with the whole agency. To be aware of everything that's going on with not just one department but the whole department. So to be aware of everything that the chairman has announced. Those were the difficulties.
So from being spokesperson, Yves, you're the director of the MMDA Traffic Discipline Office. What types of violations come to your desk?
The Traffic Discipline Office is the department of the agency that's in charge of the overall traffic management in Metro Manila. We cover the major roads while the local government units, the enforcers from local governments, they're the ones that handle the internal streets.
But who decides that? I mean, we've seen, you have introduced motorcycle lanes, and then there was a weekend where buses were not allowed to go on top of the bridge or under the tunnels, and it was chaotic. But, I mean, these are pretty bold moves. Like, who decides on these things, and did you study, like, transportation management? Geography,
The major decisions would always have to pass through the chairman.
Yes, of course. But I mean, like, who are the designers? It takes design to reroute traffic.
When it comes to engineering matters, we have a traffic engineer. We have a lot of qualified engineers who look at the infrastructure and where we can adjust.
Very dangerous are those concrete dividers that just come out.
If you can backtrack a little, before you joined the MMDA, you were an iPhone jailbreaker or up to now? So
In my phone, he's Yves the iPhone guy up to now.
Yeah. Even when I was younger, I wanted to join public service. And then with the iPhone thing, that was something that came out during my second year in law school. The whole jailbreaking scene in 2007, 2008, I met a lot of people back then. There was no easy way to use an iPhone in the Philippines. You had to jailbreak and then unlock it if a relative sends you an iPhone from the States. But then eventually, when the telco started offering the iPhone locally, the business died down. So I learned how to code iPhone apps as my distraction while I was studying for the bar. So after studying the whole day, because when you're studying for the bar, you can't just live bar your whole day, otherwise you'll go crazy. So at night, after studying, I would learn how to write apps, and then after
for
the
your
bar,
distressing, you
yes,
learn
just
write
to
apps.
remind yourself that there's a world out there other than this book that you're reading.
What other apps did you develop before developing the MMDA app?
So I started with a small zip code and area code finder. So basically, it's a free app. It's called Zips. So if you download it, if you're looking for a particular zip code anywhere in the Philippines, it's going to be there. Even if you don't have an internet connection, it's already on your phone. So
That's free?
it's a free app.
You
Yes.
didn't get any...
No, it was a practice app.
So eventually you wanted to develop apps. Is that why you joined the MMDA?
No, I was already developing apps before I joined MMDA. But before I joined MMDA, I wanted a traffic app. One of the reasons I developed the app is because I want one for myself. I drive a lot. I like driving. So,
In this traffic?
well, it's not traffic all the time.
Yeah.
So, there are times naman that you can drive. And I was stuck in traffic in SLEX, and I was with my girlfriend then. And then we said, it would be nice if we had an app for traffic. After a year from that conversation, I accidentally joined MMDA. And
So you
it
were
wasn't-
really meant to create that app?
The pieces...
yeah,
fit
the pieces
together,
just fell into
into
place. And I accidentally became traffic director. I could fulfill the original plan, which is I want to have an app. So now we have
What's the
one.
feedback with the MMDA app, and have you won awards for it?
The Traffic Navigator has won multiple awards.
Do you still want to improve it?
Of course. In MMDA, we never stop improving. There are exciting things coming up for the app. We hope to tap into our asset, which is basically we have a lot of users now. We have about 250,000 users who use it on a daily basis. Basic idea is wherever you have an app user, you have a reporter that can report the traffic situation. If we had unlimited budget, of course, the ideal would be install CCTVs everywhere and then automate the whole traffic monitoring process. But we don't have that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tap into the resource that we have, which is user base.
The government allows creative time for application developers like you to work during office hours, effectively to tinker with applications and computer.
There's never enough time. You just have to manage it. For example, the MMDA app was developed during weekends. So during weekends and then maybe certain times of the night. And then for the other versions for the app, the Android version was developed by volunteers from UP. And then the BlackBerry version was developed by a group called Pinoy BlackBerry Developers. So the direction that we took was everything had to be developed for free, meaning no expense was...
You did it for free?
Yes. So
They did it for free too.
everyone did it for free. Nobody got paid to develop.
Well,
And
it's
then
on government time, so it's okay.
And so the basic foundation of the app is the Metro Manila Traffic Navigator project, which is a public-private partnership between MMDA and TV5. So MMDA is in charge of updating the information, making sure the information is fresh, while TV5 was the one who took care of the server requirements.
For hosting the
of
servers, in other words.
Of the initial, for hosting the servers, of the initial software development needed for the Traffic Navigator. And then all the apps are developed by volunteer developers.
Well, now that you have this very successful app, do you think other government agencies could use something like this, like in other
And would you
agencies?
consider developing apps for them?
I think now, so we started in Twitter. We started in Twitter, and then now a lot of agencies are now already having their own Twitter accounts. And slowly now, I believe there's a lot of government agencies that are already looking into developing an app. There are other agencies that have approached me and asked me for referrals. I want them to have a developer that would give their 100%, so that when they do release an app, whether it's let's say it's the OTC or LTO or other agencies, they would have an app that they can also really be proud of.
I would love to have an app with the LTO para get your license.
That's true. You develop these apps through your company called Giro Apps Solutions. Can you tell us about it, how it started, and are there future projects that we can look forward to?
My company was formed before I joined MMDA, and so it's between just me and my fiance now. I'm the software developer, and then she's the graphic designer. And then since I joined MMDA, we've kind of had to slow down and no longer be that active because again the time is given to public service, to working for the MMDA.
Very interesting times we live in, because I remember sort of when you proposed, it was on Instagram step by step. Diba? Parang, It's so,
I have the photo that showed how it happened.
It's so open.
We live in interesting times.
Yes. So you have the app and then the Twitter account. So aside from the tech work, do you also do field work?
Yeah, I love field work. When I can, I always...
I know, sometimes you put on your boots and your MMDA raincoat.
Yeah, I do love field work. Whenever I can, I would do that. One thing I noticed with traffic management and being traffic director is your people really work. Your people really feel that their director is working with them, so they will also work. As compared to if you're not there, then the quality of the work is not as high as when you're personally there overseeing a particular project.
Basically, the bus drivers, the jeepney drivers, they load anywhere. If they see a prospective passenger, they just stop in the middle of the road and they load. That person goes in. And I think that's one of the main things that causes traffic. And another thing, my biggest irritant are the bus drivers. They swerve just to get 1 or 2 cars ahead. And
they have a term for that. Pila sa patay.
No, and the thing is, because they drive such big vehicles, they don't care. Is there any way to really, hit them with some sort
galing na si Sita.
of major, because it is such a pain. You know, these drivers.
Can I add to that? I'm gonna add to that. The motorcycles. Wala
the bus drivers, the jeepney drivers, the motorcyclists, they don't follow.
Yeah.
They just don't follow.
So how do you handle people like us? Complaining.
Okay, for the buses, what we're doing is, we have this, for city buses, we have a program called the Organized Bus Route. And that means there's 4 bus terminals, one in Fairview, one in Alabang, one in Baclaran. Now what we're doing is, if you have 3 or more violations, you can no longer, as a driver, you can no longer drive. So you have to settle it first. So the impact on him, on the repercussions of his violation, is more immediate. So it's not something that he encounters only every 3 years. It's something that he encounters on a daily basis, because his violation yesterday, which he still hasn't settled, will stop him from being able to work the next day. And
really the drivers that have to adhere to all the
How do you think we
rules
can
and
improve the actual
regulations.
discipline individually? You've seen so much conflict and road rage.
for discipline, one of the things that would help would be perhaps a point system. A point system wherein you start the year with a set number of points, and then if you continue committing violations, you get deducted and you get deducted until you come a point that your license can be suspended, and then after a while it can be revoked if you really drain all your points. So that would enforce self-discipline, because it's no longer just a monetary thing.
That was done during the martial law years, and it became politically untenable.
Wow.
I wasn't born yet.
I'm reading from history books.
Speaking about your
You
youth,
read about it.
did you know that Yves was actually part of a teen show and even a boy band?
Ah, yeah?
Yeah? Tell
Well,
us
you
about
can
your...
tell,
Yeah, okay. Tell us about your boy band years and your showbiz career.
Sometime in 1999, I was with Viva. I was part of the 3rd batch of the TGIS. And then, so we did, I was with sila, that time it was with sila Ann Curtis Smith, Chubi Del Rosario.
Talaga?
And
Kabatch
then-
mo si Ann
yes,
Curtis?
Yes, in TGIS. We did a couple of other Viva shows. But then, me personally, sometime in 2001, I decided that I wanted to go back to school. So I had to get out of the showbiz world and focus on my education, because I
So do
wanted
you
to
think
be a
you'll ever
lawyer.
go back to it?
Kaya spokesman siya ngayon eh.
Right now, I'm quite happy with my public service life.
Okay, in a previous interview, you said that you used to be a troublemaker. What kind of troubles did you find yourself into?
Well,
Kaya nga jailbreak
I still
ng
am.
iPhone.
I still am. In elementary, I got a failing grade in conduct because I used a pellet gun on my classmate's book.
Oh wow, on the book.
On the book. On the
Okay.
book. So it was stuff like that.
Did you really aim for the book, or were you aiming for your classmate?
On the book. On the book.
But seriously though, I mean, you must encounter a lot of criticisms and unwanted suggestions from, I mean, even your friends. And everybody is an expert in traffic.
Yes,
We all have the solution to it. So how do you deal with
Deal
that?
with the stress.
How you deal with it is you listen, and then if what the person says can be implemented, then do it. What's important is you allow people to speak out their suggestions, and you take, for example, if somebody asks me, it's super dark in a particular location, and then they ask for reflectors, and that's something we can do. So I text our traffic engineering director and say, can we please install reflectors in this area because people are saying that we should install, then we do install it. So you change the things that you can and accept the things that you can't.
Okay, sinabi mo specific suggestion. How about changing Ayala Buendia into a one-way loop so that you don't have gridlock there?
Ayala, Buendia.
Yeah.
When the things that you can't, that's part of the things that we
That you
can't.
can't
because
do.
You get
Ayala,
what? You're the
Ayala
MMDA.
is actually owned. Ayala, the street is actually owned. It's a private road.
Up to now?
Yeah, by the Ayalas.
Okay.
So, but when it comes to Makati, we're very happy that Makati is also in the forefront of making good changes. So in Makati, I know they're hoping to start a BRT, a bus rapid transit, so that it will improve public transport. Because the solution to traffic is really to improve public transport.
Yes, it's not
Rapid
more
transport.
roads.
If you move people and not cars, that's really the solution.
You develop a lot of applications. Is there a dream app that you want to develop?
The near future is the upgrades to the MMDA app. We believe that if you can tell which is the best route to take from point A to point B based on the experience of others who are already passing those routes, then you can give 3 routes. Option A is this distance, 30 minutes. This one is option B, 40 minutes. Option C, 50
That would
minutes.
be fantastic.
And then the user can make an informed decision based on real-time situation on the road, based on what other people are experiencing at the moment there. One of the biggest problems before was everyone would just take EDSA. EDSA. Of course, EDSA can only accommodate so much. But if you can tell a person that you can pass through this route and it will take you 30 minutes, then that person can take that route and avoid the traffic altogether, no longer be part of the whole EDSA C5 traffic gridlock there.
You have only 2 choices, EDSA or C5, and
But
both
that's
are
the thing, that's not true. You have a lot of choices. It's just
No,
that
all those side
Makati,
roads.
Mandaluyong,
it's just that
San Juan.
people choose the most convenient one because it's a straight line.
Yeah.
But if we can in the future, if we can offer people the option of passing through an internal road, give them the route, and it will take them 30 minutes as compared to EDSA that will take you an hour and 30 minutes, then we can do that. And then every person you get off EDSA improves the traffic situation in EDSA.
So how soon will we get to see this app up and running?
Hopefully before the end of this year.
Oh, wow, that's good. If you were a gadget, what would you be?
Well, an iPhone. Because it's reliable, it's simple, and it gets the job done.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. Well, thank you very much, Attorney Yves.
Yes.
And more power to you. And we will look forward to the future of all these apps, and especially the MMDA app, which I use every day. Okay, and you should use it.
The
as
wife
well.
will jailbreak him naman.
Thank you very much. Don't go away, friends. Magbabalik ang Cocktales.